real as anything. Your possibilities are even more real than your fears. As long as you're on this earth, God has got a plan for you, and that's why you should be confident in yourself. Never take no for an answer, and never listen to what naysayers say. Always bet on yourself. See, what is the worst that will happen? Death, isn't it? Yeah, death is the finality. But are you dead? As long as you're not dead, as long as you're alive, there are possibilities. And whatever it is, do not kill yourself because you don't know how great those possibilities would abound in your life. Because of what you see today, do not end your life because what you see today is not reflective of your tomorrow. And I can tell you for free that because it doesn't look good today, doesn't mean tomorrow will not look better. So be circumspect in your thought process. The most important thing is, can you evolve from anything that holds you back? Can you learn to be quicker and be better? Can you learn to recreate yourself? Can you learn to uphold a new level of possibility? Can you tell yourself that I still bet on myself? As long as you have the capacity to do that every day, you'll thrive. The first thing everybody tries to do is they try to take your confidence away. And why do they do that? Because they know, excuse me, been dealing with a cough. They know that once your confidence is not there, they know that you struggle to be able to do what you're called to do. And once you struggle, those possibilities that ought to abound in your life will not abound. And it is what people take advantage of. And so the very first thing people will try to do when they want to pull you down is to attack your confidence. They attack your confidence by abusing you, by reminding you that you're a failure. They say all sorts of things deliberately because all they want to do is they want to challenge your confidence. But once you succumb to them, you become a failure. And that's why I tell people they're not born their papa well. No matter who you are, as long as God has put me on earth, I will achieve what He has called me to achieve. Even if you are a 1 million man army, you can't stop me from achieving God's purpose in my life. You can't shut me down. I'll speak in tandem with what God has called me for. And trust me, it is not the lying tongue of man that is my barometer. It is the Holy Spirit of God that is my barometer. So if you think you have axe to grind with me, you better start. Because trust me, I'll give you a fight that will be so long it will take your life. Because I'm a child of God. So anybody that tries to pull you down only does that with your own permission. And except you get to that point that even though God, you slay me, I believe in you for resurrection, I will rise back up. then you will not get anything done in your life. Because what are the worst case scenarios? Once you can iterate the worst case scenarios, then you are well on your way to the best case scenario. A lot of people get mentally depressed because they only think of the worst case scenario. The reason it has been said that most people resort to suicide is because they only see the worst case scenario. But the moment you start to see the best case scenario, even in the worst case, then the best case becomes your lot. Everything in life is 90% psychological. And that's why I say you cannot listen to this show for 1 year and not be a champion. You know why? Because I'm so gonna tune your mental antenna so high that all you'll see is possibility. And I'm not gonna tell you lies. Things will be tough. A lot of things will not work your way, but celebrate the things that work your way. And when the things don't work your way, glorify God because you're giving your best. The only time you have every right to feel sorrow is the fact that you didn't give in your best. I mean, there are a lot of businesses I have started that have not gone my way. I've started an e-commerce business, didn't go my way. I've started so many businesses in logistics, it didn't go my way. I have failed in business, but doesn't make me a failure. Because for every business I have failed in, there are also businesses that I've been successful at. I've set up many businesses in the media world. Some didn't go my way, some went my way. I've tried the movie industry, tried setting up financing for movies. Some didn't go my way, some did go my way. But at least I have started something. Do not allow anybody, because of the possibility of failure, tell you can't try anything you want to try. The reason why people are not gravitating towards the best of their lives is because they keep the best of their life in the background and they waste their time listening to all what the worst of people will say about the best of their lives. Let me tell you something. Either way, people will talk. You're a success, they'll talk. You're a failure, they'll talk. So you better get to work. Because you not getting to work, you are undermining the capacity God has put in you. And that's why Christ in you is the hope of glory. It is not anything else. It is because Christ lives in you, that's why you have the hope of glory. So why don't you focus on that possibility rather than focus on how detrimental people are? Newsflash, you'll be hurt. I've been hurt in every regard. I've been hurt by business partners. I've been hurt in relationships. I've been hurt all my life. But for every one person that has hurt me, God has provided 5 different people with greater possibilities. So why do I live my life dwelling on one person when there are over 7 billion people on planet Earth? Even if 5 million people are against me, I still have over 7 billion people that are for me. Because one with God is majority. So I don't care what you think about me. Newsflash, what I care is what God thinks about me. A lot of people will never achieve their dreams in life because they spend their lives living other people's dreams. Number 1. Number 2, because they spend their life believing what other people say about them. The true person that understands you is you. It is not some people that claim they understand you. And please be very careful about people that speak to your life. Some of you are married to husband and wives that will be the greatest detractor of your progress. And like I say every time, the person you are married to that you call your sweetheart can only be real after the person has been tested through time. You know why? A lot of you are married now. Your marriage is on its way out because there's no possibility in that person you're married to, because the person doesn't carry the vision of God for you. But in time, you would understand. And when they finally go like they will go, it's not the end of your world. God has just decided to relaunch your destiny into a greater possibility. There are some people you don't cry too much for. Do not spend your tears crying on people that were never worth it in the first place. Focus on the possibility God has for you. Not everybody's worth your tears. Not everybody's worth your time. But trust me, the world is waiting for your possibility when you uphold your dreams. You know what they say? Nobody came to Lagos to count bridge. How are you holding on to the things you truly believe in? How are you holding on to the possibilities you truly believe in? The way you hold on to it is incumbent on the chance you can take on yourself. A lot of you are not ready to take risk on yourself. All you do is you believe that nothing will work out for you. You must start to think as the oasis in every desert. Because for every dryness, there's some form of liquidity. Stop destroying yourself by yourself. A lot of people are in the habit of self-destruction, and they carry the garb of self-deceit. Self-deceit is 80% of the time your problem, because you've learned to deceive yourself with a false narrative about yourself. You are the only one that can write the script of your life and your country. Stop listening to people that tell you it's impossible. Nobody but you can write your own destiny. The day you believe that, that's the day you believe possibility. I tell people, a lot of people will hear this message I've said today. They will act on it. But a lot of people will also hear it and say Rufai has spoken again. The distinction is the day you take a chance on yourself. Be careful about the people you listen to, because most people that speak ill about you have failed at some point in their own lives, and they want to project their failures on you. Because another man projects his failures so vociferously on you, doesn't make you a failure. He has just projected his own rejection. Leave him to his own rejection. I've told the story for the upton time. One of the best restaurant that was sought after in my village at a point was called Let Them Say. The woman named the restaurant Let Them Say because a lot of people were talking rubbish about her. So she said, Let Them Say. And that should be your slogan. If they have not started to talk, you have not started to make an impact. Like I said before, your only justification is your relationship with God. So let people say what they want to say about you. What is the worst they'll do? They'll abuse you. They'll say all things. They'll try to bring you down. But you see, everybody that has tried to bring you down, look at their lives critically. They are like sandpaper. The more they ruffle you, your life becomes smoother and they become worse off. For every naysayers, look at your life. You stand the test of time more than the people that say nay things about you. Think. Why are you ignoring your own chance for success and possibility and a good life at the expense of a failure and a loser telling you otherwise? Ralph Lauren was a designer in America. He had very lovely designs. He believed in the possibility of the future. He wanted to do well. Guess what somebody told him? His boss in the place he used to work once told him, he said the world is not ready for Ralph Lauren. Guess what Ralph Lauren did? He left the company. Today, Ralph Lauren is a billionaire designer, the same man somebody once said the world wasn't ready for. So for everybody that says the world is not ready for you, see it as an affirmation that the world is ready. Because not somebody somewhere can make the projection of who the world is ready for. That's why, please, limit the number of people you talk to. Not everybody is worth your time. There are so many people you're talking to now that in the next 5 years you will know they were not worth one grain of one sputum of your saliva. If there's anything like that, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't deceive yourself when other people try to deceive you. Focus on your own life. You've got possibilities in you. Like I tell people, I'm a moving train, but if you don't believe, my train will shine so bright that it will shake you and you'll be forced to join. It is not who laughs first that matters, but who laughs best that matters. So I'm not oblivious of people that always laugh first, because you see, theirs is temporal. But as long as I'm a man of vision, my laughter is eternal. I'll keep working until my success comes. What do you believe in? Yourself or what people say about yourself? Who do you believe in? The Holy Spirit that works in you, or the negativity of your boss at the office that doesn't know anything about the blueprints God has given you? Your boss was not there. Your wife or your husband that pulls you down today was not there when God designed the blueprint of your life. Stop making people that were not there when God determined your blueprint matter in the grand scheme of things in your life. And be careful of people that psychoanalyze you. They think they know you, but they talk a lot of rubbish about you. They don't know you. The person that knows you sees you and walks with you. Introspect and think. You have more brighter days ahead than sad days, so you better get happy. Enjoy yourself and travel the world when you get the chance. Also impact people. Live your life to the fullest and to the best. The reason you've been holding your happiness for so long is because you thought it was determinant on somebody else. No other person should determine your happiness. It is about you. Once you realize that, your life becomes a lot better. Be careful, because in the next 5 years, the top 5 people that matter so much to you now will never matter any longer. So you are fast evolving. Be a constant currency in the space and the time of life, because that's what makes you current in every situation. And being a currency means standing true and believing in your own self and possibilities. Trust me, the first sign is a lot of people will attack you, but many years to come, you constantly become a sought after. If you're being impacted today, talk to me. If you're not, don't call me. The phone line's 0700 903 903 903. If you're being impacted, call me. If you're not, please don't call me. You know why? This is not for everybody out there. I'm sick and tired of thinking that I am for everybody. No. I am for those God has sent me to. If you want to join in, join in. Because truly, you will get exhausted if you think you're for everybody. So you try to please everybody. But you're for specifically those God has sent you to. And that's why I tell people, I cannot change the world. But what I'm here on earth to do is to challenge people God has sent me to minister to. And that's what matters. Because if you meet the wrong crowd that you were not sent to, you will never feel right in your wrong crowd. But when you meet the crowd that you were sent to, you will feel right in the wrong crowd. So don't think of the negativity of the wrong crowd. And don't think of the fact that people do not adulate you because you're just in the wrong crowd. So move to the right crowd. The reason why a lot of people are failing in their life is because they don't have a mind of their own. And when you don't have a mind of your own, it's as good as not having a soul. And when you don't have a soul of your own, you're a zombie. So a lot of people are emotional zombies. And they flock the face of the earth. Hello, wonderful Sunday morning to you.
Hey, my big brother, how you doing?
Very well, Ambassador.
You are blessed.
Thank you.
You are blessed. I'm one of those you are sent to. I'm one of those who have benefit from your comment anytime, any day, either on Twitter or WhatsApp or Instagram. And my mom told me that please never force someone to like you.
Yes.
Big among those who like you. Never stay where they don't like you.
Yes.
Run away from there. Never force people. Never you try it. And I tried it once and I got my finger burned.
Yes.
You know, when I got my housewife, I told her, please be with those who are married. Listen to those who are married. Have them as your friends. They will share more experience. But he decided to go with those who are not yet married. Those who are married have divorced their husband. Now he's one of them now. Now, his God is close. Please listen to those who can impact in you. Never go to the wrong place. If you are in wrong places all the time, you keep on being among those who are not.
Yes.
On the righteous. I'm happy. May God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Rupe, it's unfortunate. And I told you, but I still believe that it will happen. It can happen. Although it has its feelings, but no. I believe in God. God knows the beginning and end of everything. God knows the right time for me to celebrate my 33 years of activism. It can happen November 19th. I'm still happy. Even though I'm going to celebrate my birthday on November 20th, on Sunday, I'm still going to be happy, man. Next year is another day for me.
Let me tell you something critically. It's all in your mind. Your idea of a celebration is only limited to your mind. If you think because you couldn't get a hall, you couldn't get people to celebrate with you, that you won't celebrate, then you've just held your happiness backward. But you can still celebrate whatever your day of activism is, 33 years of activism, without even having a hall, without having people there. Why don't you sit in your room and worship God, your maker, for your days of activism? People that don't come today will come tomorrow. So don't bother too much about what doesn't go your way. Think of the possibilities that will come your way. I was planning an event in December. I had to collapse the event into our friend's event, Toluchi's event of the 13th of November. He's having a praise event. He's celebrating 10 years of mass. He impacts people. He left the banking sector. And I decided to collaborate my event and put it with his. And it's still going on. So everything is about your perception.
I agree with you.
Everything is about your perception. It is because you have conditioned yourself to a societal pattern. That's why you think if things don't go a certain way, possibilities will never come. Do not limit yourself.
Okay.
Do not limit yourself. Open up your new horizon. It is about living that dream God has had for you. And trust me, I tell people, God had told me of a grand dream to impact people all over the world many years before I got on many platforms. So irrespective of the platform, I impact people. My life is an impactation. I tell people what I do on TV is just one of so many platforms. What I do on radio is another platform. What I do on podcast is a platform. Let me tell you something. If you take TV, if you take radio, If you take podcast away from me, I will still be a blessing to my generation. I will still impact my world. Because you know
Sure.
what? The dream that God has given me that I carry is more important than any platform.
Sure.
And that's why no matter where I move to, it is the impactation that matter. I remember when I left a radio station and a lot of people said, Rufai, what are you going to do next? Oh, you shouldn't have left. In fact, the radio station then looked at me and gave me an ultimatum and said, you either stay with us or you make your decision. And I told myself, I said, you cannot hold my life because I have greater possibility.
Sure.
Today, I'm a co-founder of another radio station.
Sure.
So you cannot hold my life. And until you
No
tell
problem.
yourself that and you give yourself a fighting chance, nobody will give you a chance in life.
Sure.
So if a radio station thought they can hold my life a couple of years ago, today I've co-founded a radio station. Tomorrow I'm going to
I'm not-
co-found TV stations.
I'm
I'm going
happy.
to co-found media empire. So it is where I'm
Amen.
going to that matters. It is not what I see now. It is not what I see now. It is the possibility of God in my life that matter. So for you, it's not about not having a hall and a crowd to celebrate 30 years of activism that matter. It is the possibility of the impact you are making that matters. Why don't you even, you can even have your own praise program with God and decide to make it virtual celebration.
Sure.
It is your mindset that matters. It
Sure.
is that doggedness of not taking no for an answer
Sure.
that matters. And when you
Sure.
look at that possibility, it is what abounds for you.
Sure.
Do not deceive yourself. A lot of people
Sure.
will try to pull you down. But what is most important is about you as a person. I don't care too much what people think about me. I'm a moving force God has put on earth that can't be stopped. And that should be your mentality. I don't care. People will say anything. They'll think anything. Not everybody will like me. I don't even want everybody to like me. I'm not in a
Sure.
popularity contest. I'm here for purpose. To
Sure.
deliver the purpose of God in my life. I'm not in a popularity contest. It is when you're in a popularity contest, you expect people to like you. And when you want people to like you, you don't stand for anything because you become a people pleaser. I'm a
Sure.
straight talker based on what God has given me the possibility for. And that should be your life. I fear no man. I respect everybody.
Wow. Wow.
My brother,
You
go
are
and
blessed.
explode. God has put a
You are
dynamo in
blessed.
you. Go and
You are
explode.
blessed. You are
So
blessed.
stop thinking of the things you
Another
can't do
plus.
now. Stop thinking about the
I'm-
fact that you can't do. Stop whining about it. Focus.
I am a plus.
There's a
It's
brighter,
not for
better
me.
day for you. Do you know
It's
what
not
God
for
has
me.
planned for you? Do you know
No.
if God is opening platforms all over the world for you?
Mm.
So I keep telling people, when God showed me that I was a global figure, I was staying in a one-room apartment. But God was showing me Oxford. Today I've spoken in Oxford, I've spoken in Cambridge, I've impacted millions. So where you are, your background should not put your back to the ground. It doesn't determine where you're going.
Sure.
It is where God
Sure.
is setting you up for that matters.
Sure.
So be impacted this morning.
Mm.
It is
God
well.
bless you. I receive this.
It
I
is well.
receive this. God bless.
It is well.
This is why I cannot stop listening to you whenever I. God bless you. God bless you.
It is well. Bless you so much. Bless you so much. Because people will say things, and it is not what they say that matter. People will intimidate you. Trust me, you thought I got here overnight? I got here through blood, sweat, and God. Through a lot of intimidation. People will try to pull you down. But who are they? Who are they? Somebody said, bless you, Uncle Rufai, and your family have been impacted. My life has changed. Thank you so much. +2332. I don't know that country. Carol C saying popularity contest what people see in church. Yeah, that's true. That's why they can't straight talk. Spend time with orphanage less. Yes, that's what I do too. It makes me happy. And that's why I told myself next year I don't have all the money in the world, but I'll build a center in honor of my parents. That's why this November I'm inaugurating an award for poetry for secondary school students to impact them. I do things on my own terms. It's not about people. I don't force you to like me. Who the heck do you think you are? God is my refuge. That's all I stand for. That's all I know. That's the only possibility I know. That's the only thing I see. That's the only thing I see. He's my life, he's my possibility. He's my life, he's my possibility. He's the only one I know. And that's what should herald your life. Because life is about your mentality. Don't grovel. Don't grovel. Don't grovel. Don't feel worn out. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. How are you?
I'm very fine.
Bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have made my day. I've been listening to you. My name is Anna. I'm calling from Oshodima. Thank you very much. It's like God just want me to listen to you this morning. I didn't went to church. But since I'm listening to you, in fact, I'm very lifted. All what you said, in fact, I don't know where to start. Even as I'm talking to you now, I'm shedding tears. Because it's like all what I did in past, helping people, everything. But now I look like rejected. But listening to you this morning, I believe that there is God. In fact, you just spoke to me directly. I love that. Thank you very much.
God be praised.
Thank you very much. But what I want to ask you now, if there is any kind, I don't have, but I know that God will do it to sponsor this program anyhow. I can do it anyhow to sponsor this program because I do listen to you every morning. But to get into you people is hard. But today I get you. I love that. I love this program. You are great. And I pray that God will continue to bless you, bless your family. Because you are reaching out to millions or billions of people, not only Nigeria, outside the world. Maybe some people listen to you to get to you with heart, but they are listening to your program. You are great. God just used you to bless us. Because at times, when I listen to your program, I don't go to church. But any day that I'll go and come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. If there's any way that I can reach you people or help me in any matter.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. It is well. Like I said, for a man of vision, platforms become a given. So I tell people, I'm not even thinking of only here alone. Thinking of building more radio stations, more impactation. Because you see, it has to be said, once God puts something in you, He will make a way to make it come out to the world. A lot of the things you will not do for yourself, it is God that will open those doors for you. And He will open those possibilities for you. That's why there's so many things you shouldn't fret at. Yes, you will have dark days. Yeah, I had dark days this year. But I'm bouncing back. You always have dark times. But the dark times will never last. You'll have downcast times. You'll feel bad. But you have to bounce up. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Great to have you. Bless you.
Thank you, sir. I'm Frank. I'm calling from Isolo.
Great to have you, Frank, from Isolo.
Sir, I'm so grateful. I've been following you all. And even when you started talking, I started catching cold from head to my toe. Because your word is a heavy impact to many people's lives. I wish to be hearing your word every morning before I leave my house. Because there are a lot of things that you are saying this morning that, when I remember it, I say, it's good to be focused on yourself. Because I love giving out and I love pleasing people. But the time someone tell me that I should stop pleasing people and just please myself. And even as that, I can't see myself moving forward. If I have, even if it is my last card, I will give it out. Then I will just stay stranded. But whenever I come to a problem, I will not see anyone to rescue me or to help me out. So I really, really love your program, and I really want to continue to listen to you particularly because you speak like you speak like an angel. So sir, so much grateful to you.
Well. So this message is recorded again. We have a podcast. It's called Rufai Speaks Podcast. It's on Anchor. But if you go to my Twitter page at Rufai the Fire, you'll see the podcast. You can play it all over again. So if you, we've got over 16,000 people that have played the podcast at some point. You know, we started the podcast about a year or two ago. Got over 16,000 that have played them. You can also watch them again on YouTube, or Voice of the People 90.3. These messages are there again, they're impacting people. But one thing I'd like to tell you is, God has a plan for you. And when you please people too much, it's because there's an emptiness. You want to be validated. You don't need to seek validation. Follow purpose and validation will come.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, I too have problems like that. I have challenges in my life. There are some people I have a weakness for, I wouldn't lie to you. That I've just seen that I've had a weakness for them. I like to please them and all of that. But I keep seeing that this is at the expense of myself. So me too, I'm preaching to myself in this message. And a lot of those people are going to get the shockers of their life very soon.
Amen.
Because for how long am I going to do that at the expense of myself? Yeah.
I keep doing.
I need to start asking myself what is the need for myself. And when you please people, it's a place from low. You've got a self-esteem that is low, and you're not ready to tell yourself the truth. And towards people, I've had those too myself. When you can't stand tall for yourself, it's because you're low inside. So, look inside, calculate, explore those potential, and hold on to yourself. The most important thing you shouldn't do is you shouldn't lose confidence in yourself. Because the first thing people try to do when they meet you is to attack your confidence. Anybody that takes your confidence intimidates you.
All right, sir.
It is well.
Thank you. God bless you.
It is well. 0700 903 903 903. Olayinka Valentoth from Belgium, okay. Said if you have a prayer group, please, I want to join. Let me call Olayinka back. Prayer group, I don't have that now. Olayinka, I'm going to surprise you. How are you?
I don't have.
Fine. Good morning.
Bless you. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to talk to you. God bless you.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you.
Yes, so my pleasure, Olayinka.
Thank you
so much.
for your Simon every Sunday.
Thank you
And
so
in
much.
fact, changed my life.
Yes.
I'm learning a lot.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
May
much.
God bless you.
Yes, so you're going to be the best version of yourself God wants you to be in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen.
It is well. You're blessed. You're highly favored.
Amen.
Keep believing in yourself.
Amen.
And at some point, I'll think of that too, where we can have more engagements, where we can pray and all of that. But I don't have that on my cards now. But I'll think of that. So engage more.
I'll be happy to have that. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Olayinka, a lot of your fans have commented on the YouTube page. Carol C saying, Olayinka, so you are a lady. Oh.
Yeah, but people think I'm a fake profile. No, that is my husband's name.
Wow.
I'm married to European, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah,
That's great. God bless him, man. And God bless you all the way from
yeah,
Belgium. Bless you, bless you, bless you.
yeah.
Thank you. Don't worry. We're global. We'll come to Belgium at some point. We'll go around the world and we'll do great things for you.
No problem. By the grace of God, no
Thank
problem.
you. Bless you, my sister. Bless you. Bless
Yeah,
you.
yeah, welcome.
Bless you. Bless you. 0700 903 903 903. Don't be. You need to stand tall for yourself. You need to stand tall for yourself. Adekunle, I see you, Carol C. Emeka Barf, hi from London. I see you, Emeka. Carol C, thanks for your engagement as always. You're saying it as well with the caller. If you have a low self-esteem, then nothing to offer to anyone. Adekunle, I see you. A lot of great one. Spend quality time with yourself, with your family. Vacation with them. I mean, I see you. Thank you so much. God shall continue to increase you. Michael Chijuka, I see your message. I only speak to my wife and children. That's true. You can also speak to other people, but you need to be able to know the kind of people that have impact in your life. I speak to millions of people, but a lot of them, not everybody I give that chance in my life. Hello, how are you? Oh, lost that. Not everybody I give that chance to enter my call. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning, bless you. How are you? Wonderful Sunday morning.
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I just want to thank you this morning. My name is Stella. I'm calling from Solere.
Thanks so much, Stella. Bless you, bless you. The message impacted.
I really want to. Yeah, I really thank you this morning. I wanted to go to church. I was pressing up. But once I started sharing your program, like once I opened the radio station, I was like, wow, let me just stay back home and listen to this program. It was really amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I've learned a lot. I hold my book and my pen for you to know that I'm really serious about this program this morning. Like, I was really happy about it.
Yeah, let me give you the chance to preach my own message back to me. Preach my message back to me. The things you jotted down, let me hear them.
Sir, I just want to thank you. Sir, I'm just grateful. The only thing I learned this early morning is that let me just be myself.
Yes.
Nobody should try to impress me. Like,
Yes.
I should just be on my own, do what I feel like is good, and be in the Holy Spirit, like asking God for direction.
Yes.
Oh, God, I really thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God
Thank
bless
you. Yes, sir. Amen, sir. Thank you, sir.
And it will perfect His works in your life. Please be encouraged. You know, because in life, a lot of people are trampling down too many people. Arinza was listening from Jakarta, Indonesia. We got a lot of our friends from everywhere. Peter Mary Aluya, good morning. Peter, listening from Sweden. Thank you so much. Bless you for joining us. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning.
Bless you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Hugo.
Yes, Hugo.
Yes. You're fine.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your topic, and my main reason for calling is first of all to apologize because there was a period I called. It was a mistaken identity. You know, I never knew it was. I thought it was the other guy that run the morning shift in your former city where you work, because I had this. I'm really happy you came to this studio because I don't know. There was a topic you made one day, and I called and I said, I love your topic, but I just don't like you in person. But I love your topic. I never knew it was in you, you know. And I do wish you could repeat that topic in this station, which talks about social life and fake life. You know, people who like that was the period when Obi Kubana was doing the mom's and birthday or burial or something. Yeah, and really enjoyed that topic. But because of the fact that I am not a big fan of that particular station, I just don't like the station that much, you know. So I will use this station, something like this in this station. You know, when I found out it wasn't me, I was like, oh, I've just made a mess of myself. I am really sorry, but I wish you could still repeat that topic in this video. You know, it's a very powerful message. The message, I listened for like 3 minutes, but it's something that never left my mind.
You as well.
I'm deeply sorry. I'm happy, really. I'm really happy on this today. Yesterday I still listened to Citizen Jones. I listened to a couple of. It's a powerful station that we are working right now.
Yeah,
and I really appreciate. Yes,
yeah.
I really appreciate the message.
Yeah,
you can flow here. You can flow here. The truth must be told. There's no sentiments to the truth. There are lots of sentiments to the truth in that other place. You and I know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There is no sentiment to the truth. Now you can flow well. Then you can speak your mind. You can say what you want to say. Thanks a lot.
I'm happy we're getting this. This is my baby.
No. Do you know why I called?
This is my baby. I co-founded this, so I'm happy that we're getting this good feedback. As a co-founder here, it gives me that level of joy to see that we've been able to build a station that a lot of people say, okay, we're straight talking. And that's the joy here.
That message you passed that day, nobody, you know what I'm talking about? Nobody can put that in there. You agree? No, it's not possible. So I just went, I was like, who is saying this thing, man? I really wish you can put that thing back. Take life, social media, the effect of social media in people's lives. I really wish you can put it back. Thanks a lot.
Anyway, thank you, sir. Anyway, I'll just say this real quickly. If social media truly affects your life, then you should ask yourself, do you really have any substance in your life before social media? The problem is not social media. The problem is what you allow to influence you. Because things will always influence you. And trust me, I hope you know that at some point, life will evolve way more than social media. There will be new forms of social media. There will be more evolutive forms of social media. This Twitter and Facebook and everything you're seeing is not going to be like this again. It's going to span a time, and afterwards it's going to evolve to other things. At some point there was MySpace, but now life has evolved beyond that. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning.
Great to have you. Morning.
It's Tracy from Agberos.
Yeah, great to have
you. So this is my first time calling. Like, what I listen to, when I listen to you, I'm marveled.
Bless you.
I'm so happy. You're just a life changer. Like, you touch me so much. Like, I was about doing something bad. Like, I've been going through a lot. My thinking is lasting. Like, I'm lost already. But listening to you this morning, like, it makes me feel that there's there's a way out. I'm depressed, frustrated, and like, I feel like I'm not getting there. I'm a loser. I just don't want to go in detail, but
yeah,
the way you spoke this morning, like, you really touched me. Really touched me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for speaking to us. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you so much.
Because I don't know what I would have done tomorrow, but I've planned things. Thank you for bringing me back. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you.
You've got to have strength and fortitude because your life is valid and nothing can take it. Believe in that, and you believe in yourself, and the possibilities will abound.
Yeah, thank you for making me believe on myself again.
Please, you should.
Yeah.
Please, you should. There are many times that your confidence will wane. Trust me. You'll deal with mental health issues. You see, the thing about me is I'm real. I'm still dealing with my own grief in my life of losing my father. You deal with mental health. You have ups and downs. It's not every day I'm pumped up. It's not every day I'm ready to go. But one thing I can tell you is that you've got to be in the fight. The most important thing is it's not how big your opponent is your capacity to fight. And I tell people I'm a fighter. I don't run away from a good fight. I'm a fighter, especially in this life, this fight for life. I will fight. I'll throw punches. Even if you're going to kill me, God, you will not live too long alive yourself. Because I'm going to give you a good fight. And that's the way you should have for yourself. Give yourself that good fighting chance. Always be in the ring. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. Good morning.
Morning, how are you? How's it going?
I'm fine. God bless you. It's Joy Musa.
Bless you, Joy. I remember you. How are you? How's it going? How are you doing?
I give God the glory. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bless you. Lion guys, can see you. Peter, hallelujah. I'm calling, I said I'm going to call the governor. These people are the same. All right? Okay. I heard people say that, yeah. Hold on and touch and run. Like Rufai said, most things are psychological. Shake it off, hold up firm. Thanks, you're always impacting people. Renewable sources, it's a renewable resource for souls who pass through darkness. All right. Good morning, Rufai. I'm listening all the way from Kent in the UK. That's Ambassador Lord Adebayo Show. Thank you so much. Mrs. Valakot, you're a woman. A lot of people are still surprised. I'm sure you've got a good following, Olayinka, over there. I don't care what people say. What I care about is the possibility of the great things I'm set to achieve in my life. And a lot of people can talk, but the focus should be on you constantly fighting that good fight of a lot of possibility every day. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Great to have you.
Good morning, sir.
Bless you. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. My name is Abba. I'm calling from Mojo, Lagos.
Great to have you, Abba.
Thank you. I'm very, very happy for this program today. It is my first time of listening to him. I was just searching. I didn't go to church. I was just searching any of the radio station that I will listen to. And I just jam your voice and your statements. This man is just like a preacher, just like a man of God. And I was listening to his part. It made my day just because I was just thinking what to do because everything was like upside down. But things I'm listening to you since morning was like you are reviving me back from where I was before. I'm so grateful.
Bless you. Bless you.
I'm so grateful.
Bless you.
Thank you very much.
Like I say, your life is valid. Possibilities abound. So real quickly, let me go to my guest. I've got a brother here that is running to be governor in Lagos. He's run for Senate before in Lagos under the PDP. And like I say, I always have an hour for nation building. And Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, I mean, is no stranger. Under the Labour Party, wants to be governor of Lagos. Great to have you. And thank you so much for taking the sacrifice to join me. You know, booking on my show is quite very odd because of the Sunday morning.
Yeah,
it is, but it's got tons and tons of following. But thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you
to come to being here. So please, everywhere in the world, from Jakarta, Indonesia to Belgium, for everywhere, to those listening to us live on radio, we've got somebody that is vying for governor here. Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour of the Labour Party. We'll talk to him, but you also have a chance to talk to him one-on-one and ask him all your questions. All right? Valid, straight to the point questions and all of that. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Let me ask you, why did you come into politics in the first place?
Actually, it happened in 5 seconds.
5 seconds?
Honestly. So I had been leading a protest, a struggle against the federal government's introduction of genetic modified foods into the agriculture system, which I felt was extremely terrible. It reduced our food sovereignty. It has links to health issues, cancer, endocrine dysfunction, and it will allow us, it made us to lose our major export partners, which was mainly the European Union at the time. And Akinwumi Adesina was the Minister of Agriculture at the time, and he was really pushing it very hard. So we debated ourselves in dailies, and then debated DGs of MBMA.
Was it just a personal challenge for you, and it was just a personal lead, or you were being backed up by some?
No, this was a personal thing.
Possibilities somewhere, because this advocacy thing and cash and all of that.
I know. No, but that was not the case. Generally, I think that I believed very much that with good leadership, Nigeria can actually set itself on the right course to be truly great. But I felt there's some damage that can be done to the country that is not, there's no going back.
Yemi, can you come help us fix the mic, please? I beg you, Yemi. Good. Yemi, yeah, the mic. I think people are saying they can't hear very well.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, so if we can, is it better now?
Is that better? I can hear myself. Yeah. So there are things that happen to a country that changes its path forever, right? And this was one of them. That's why I had to do something about it, because it borderline made me depressed. So I remember my father saw me and he said, what's wrong with you? And I explained everything to him and said, if that's the case, do something about it. Don't just be moping about this issue. So ultimately, it led to a 2,000-man march in the Senate. And this happened in 2016. And 3 senators came out to address us. And we had told them...
And you funded this march by yourself?
A lot of people came together.
Okay.
So people like Nimobasi was involved. Yeah. And you'll be surprised that a lot of good people in Nigeria that actually take things seriously, right? So the senators came out to address us, and all they were saying was, listen to me, we're 2-time governors, do you know who I am, that kind of thing. They didn't address anything we had to say. And it was in that moment, honestly, that I decided that, we need more people with empathy in government. And I came back to Lagos and I joined the Kowa Party and ran for local government chairman. So that's literally, in that moment, I felt that you cannot have people controlling the destinies of so many people that don't really care about the interests of these people, be it short term or long term. It has to be more, right? And I felt that you cannot just be complaining from outside. If you're carrying placards, the people you're trying to appeal to must have a heart to actually understand your struggle, right? And this is one that connects everybody. It's not like a special interest. A driver, a president, a farmer, you're all eating probably from the same farm even. So that was very important to me.
Okay, so why now and why are you running for governor in Lagos? What are the things really you want to do? And why the Labour Party? Because, like I said before, the argument is you're a free market capitalist and running under the Labour Party.
Yes. Okay, so why now? Well, I'd run for Senate, Lagos West. That's half of Lagos, 10 local governments. And I had the most opposition votes in that election under the PDP. And since then, I had been actively building structure across the state. I had gone to visited different wards, I toured the entire state as part of my campaign to be the governorship candidate. And also, the process of the senatorial race allowed me to actually visit different wards and understand the pain points. For instance, in Ijegun, where children have to walk almost 40 minutes to get to school. Different things that made me feel that, it's time for a different type of politics. It's time for a politics of transparency and accountability as the spirit driving it. It's time for a politics that uses the 1 naira to get a job of 1 naira done, as opposed to 4 naira to get the job of 1 naira done. If you understand what I'm saying. So for instance,
inflated contracts and bloated contracts.
Exactly. So like doing things for 4 times the price, and instead of having 4 assets, you're having only 1 with the same money that could do 4 assets. And I felt also there's a need to remove the strangulation from Lagos State that does not allow it to focus on delivering proper service to its people and having people truly in charge and truly beneficiaries of good governance. So that's why I felt that it's important to run for governor. And when you talk about the Labour Party, I understand there's that.
Yes, because
there's that
I've asked you
dichotomy.
to that question many times.
Yes,
free market capitalist running under Labour.
I'll say that I'm not a free market capitalist. Like, for instance, I was going against genetic modified foods, which is like the epitome of free market capitalism. I believe that I'm more moderate. I subscribe more to the Bernie Sanders type of politics. I subscribe more to the Nordic type of politics. There must be a social element to it. There must be a welfare element to it, but at the same time enabling for business to succeed, but ensuring that it does not come at the price of human development or human quality of life.
Yemi, please, maybe you have to come and stand the mic in such a way. Because a lot of people are still complaining here that probably is not close to the mic enough. Okay, good. So let's now go to the problems. Lagos has got a lot of problems.
Yes.
Lagos has got 2 million out of school children.
Exactly.
How are you going to solve this? This is about the largest number in the country.
Yes.
Lagos was said to be the second worst city to live in, and it's been voted like that consistently.
Yes, for the last decade.
And the parameters are insecurity and all of that. And
Yes.
you still, like this morning I was driving and I was coming on the island where you're supposed to be still like the bastion of wealth and everything. I saw open defecation live happening. Yes. On the island, on the expressway, as I was just ascending that, that bridge that leaks up to VI, open defecation. What are you going to do as regards these 2 million out of school children in Lagos?
So the first thing with that is we need to invest properly in our education system. It's not enough to say you have schools and children are still in schools in Lagos sitting down on the floor. It must be taken very seriously. So solid investments in the education system, solid investment in training teachers and improving the quality of life and salaries that are paid to them, and also bringing innovation into education. So for instance, there's still children that learned that Mungo Park discovered River Niger when their ancestors were swimming in there when the Europeans were probably in the caves. So this needs to change. There needs to be a new type of education system that's focused on productivity, focused on teaching people how to produce things, focused on ensuring that people understand how to make things, and then tailor it particularly to the peculiarities of that local government where it is. So for instance, if you are in Badagry or you are in Ikorodu, let's use Ikorodu. The aquaculture industry should be significant in that part of Lagos State. Now, how do you train children all the way from primary school to secondary school? Because the dropout rate from secondary school is very significant. We must ensure that by the time you have secondary school level, you've picked up enough skills to be able to generate value or create value in that local economy. Because what we're trying to do as an architect, I look at Lagos in terms of systems. We need to have sustainable local governments that decentralize Lagos and allow for value propositions in each of them so people are not just coming to the center. So for me, when you have peculiarities like Badagry, peculiarities, aquaculture, tourism, how do you train so that after school programs and also an addendum on education that allows for you to be able to immerse in the industry in your locality, right? So for me, education is about investment, bringing innovation in, leveraging technology as well, so that people can actually get ahead, right? In terms of...
But how are you going to get the money for this investment? Because the state is already in debt of over 800 billion.
Like I said...
Over 800 billion, close to $1 trillion now in debt.
So the question is, what are they spending this money on? And that's why I started with transparency and accountability. There are so many loopholes that need to be blocked. That's one. For instance, if you look at how the taxes are being spent, and like I said, most roads, most projects in Lagos State are being done at 4 times the World Bank benchmark for them, right?
Like which project?
Even the ramp. Let me give you the ramp. The ramp from Falomo that's linking Uzumba is done at 3-4 times the price that it will be done in what's this place called? In Ethiopia or in Ghana, right? I wrote an article about this called "Lagos is Not Working." It's in some major dailies, and I calculated and broke it down. Most of these projects are being done times 4 the price. Even dredging in Lagos State, you find that these projects are done 3 times the price that you actually get it done. And unfortunately, the finance system is so opaque that you actually need insider knowledge to even know what these prices are being, what these contracts are being given at, and then you now calculate based on what can actually be done, based on looking at it being done in other states, right, or in other countries. Sorry, I meant to say other countries. So that's how it then gets a value. And then you also look at the World Bank benchmark for what this project should be done at these prices in the state or in Nigeria as well. So blocking all of this and then looking at land, right? There's so many people that have appropriated land in a way that did not bring any value to the state. This land is just locked value. So there was a policy that ensures that people develop land in a certain time frame. And if land has just been acquired without creating value for the state, that needs to be looked into. So for instance, we want to create a situation where people are getting on the ladder to being homeowners. So giving people land at an affordable price, but ensuring that value from that is no longer just locked in. Development is happening and those monies are then put into healthcare, is put into education.
So you're saying you want to unlock debt capital. Have you been able to calculate a cost? What this your education plan will cost?
At the moment, I've not calculated to that detail what it will cost. For me, it's about ensuring that the system, understanding the system and how it will work, and then we'll then put a cost to it. So we're working on that.
Is the manifesto out?
We're launching it on November 4th.
Okay.
Sorry, on December 4th.
December 4th.
Yes, because we want to do it at the same time that the debates are about to start.
Okay.
Yes. So for me, so we're talking about broad ideas for how we can develop Lagos, especially with education. Now, and also we're also going to be partnering with the private sector to ensure that there's that linkage as well, right? So appealing to companies, CSR, ensuring that, okay, these are things we're doing. We're also trying to improve employability skill sets for people as well. So these are all the factors that we're going to bring into education.
Okay, let's talk about living in Lagos itself. You know, things like labels like second worst city to live in. I mean, what would you like to do as regards urban regeneration? That's one. Number two, healthcare sector. This government claims that they've done a lot of healthcare. They've built a lot of hospitals and the likes and all of that. You know, affordable healthcare is still a big problem with people.
Extremely. As part of my campaign, I launched a micro health insurance scheme as I was going to different local governments. I was giving it to them. It was partnered with pharmacies in their local area. So you call, you register with it. They tell you the pharmacies that are around there, and then you can go there and get treatment. So for me, it's this type of innovations that need to be brought so that, for instance, you look at a situation where people are sick, they just drink Agbo, and then years down the road, they are treating kidney and liver disease. We need to normalize getting diagnostic tests and having healthcare that's data-driven. So testing that innovation and seeing that it worked was something that was very exciting for me. But then when people are saying that they're building hospitals and everything, the centralization, mainly about 33 to 34% is in Lagos Island, that I found, what Lagos State has done. But then you see the video of the lady that was showing Luth and how people were lying down on the corridors, they're being kicked out, pregnant women and all of that. There's still a significant lack of infrastructure in terms of healthcare. And also the process of having to talk to a doctor before you come to the hospital.
But the government claims that they've put in many telemedicine platforms.
But it's not being taken up. So there's a dichotomy. There's a situation where you're doing policy, or you claim to be doing policy that's almost tokenism, right, for the news headlines, but you're not creating a process for the uptake of it or for the use of it. And for me, that is a situation where you are not building policy with people, you're building it for people, and you're not actually doing the education.
So what would you do differently?
So for me, we'll be building it with people, right? Stakeholders, getting them informed, education, a lot of education, testing these things out and making it easily accessible. So for instance, if you're going to be, so part of my manifesto is being the Commonwealth of Lagos. As long as you're a taxpaying member of Lagos State, you belong to Commonwealth of Lagos. And we partner with banks to ensure that you can get the cards and membership seamlessly, as opposed to just going to somewhere and waiting on long queues to get it. Now, with that, there's a lot of education that comes with it. There's a lot of value that comes with it, direct incentives that come with being a taxpayer. And that also ties into this micro health insurance scheme that I told you about earlier on, which I've already started testing as an individual. And in that process, also having telemedicine to make a major part of this thing. So you don't have to come into the hospital to talk to a doctor, and training a lot of doctors to be able to do this, and even just medical professionals to be able to diagnose and talk to you on the phone. And if it's very necessary, then you can come to the hospital.
So you're looking at an approach of telemedicine. You want to build new hospitals?
And primary and micro health insurance.
What's most important in the health chain for you, primary or tertiary healthcare centers?
Primary.
Okay.
Primary is very important because there's so many people that have sicknesses that can be handled at that level. And if we also educate people, then they might not necessarily need to get to the tertiary level where.
But have you taken a stock of the primary health care? How many do we have now in Lagos?
I think we have just under 1,000, I think.
Primary healthcare centers?
Yes.
How well are they funded?
No.
And have you tried to calculate the cost of what it will take to fund one, probably for the next 4 years?
Well, I've not calculated the cost of funding one primary healthcare center. And these are things that we're going to be doing before. But what I find is that aside from the staff strength that's supposed to be there, a lot of education needs to be there. A lot of education to the people to be able to go to these primary healthcare centers, especially at local government levels, engage with them, use them, and also facilities that allow for treatment and diagnostics. These are things that I feel need to be on ground.
There are too many power brokers in Lagos, which a lot of people are complaining. One of them is the Agberos,
Yes.
They're collecting too much in taxes, billions and billions of naira when you iterate the figure they're collecting. In fact, the drivers had to go on a protest in Lagos.
Yeah.
The yellow bus drivers. Now, what would you do about Agberos? A lot of people are saying scrap them off. Would you do that?
I would do that, but then you see the main issue first here is that there was a time in Lagos where people used to get on buses without any of these things.
Yeah. So
These
why are they
state-
here all of a
But
sudden?
these
Because they're power brokers.
Yeah,
So
these
are
are
you gonna
state.
scrap them
I
and
feel
flush
these,
them out?
these are state-backed agents of the government, right? And they are working hand in hand with the government, and they're also used during elections to suppress votes and all of that. That's where they get the guts and the audacity to do what they do to the regular citizens of Lagos State. For me, we'll be doing away with all of that, and we'll be automating collection of revenue, right, from taxes from these bus drivers, so that it can be accounted for, and they also have benefits to it. I met with the chairman of the bus union, and it was a situation where it's like monkey they walk, baboon they chop kind of situation, and he made it clear that they're suffering so much with these multiple taxations. So the idea is whatever funds are being generated, a significant amount of it should be going towards whether it's health insurance for them, like Governor Soludo has done in Anambra State, or to ensure also that these funds are accounted for and they are used for the roads, they are used to clients, to making their lives easier. So for us, with this new group of people that will now be redundant, we are going to work with them as stakeholders to create employability skills for them. And this will be done in consultation with them over a period of time. So it's a situation where you cannot just abandon them, right? It has to be a situation where you move them from this current reality that they have and equip them for a new method of...
But a lot of people are saying we didn't have them during Marwa's time.
No, we didn't. But now we have a huge youth bulge, and they must be made productive. Unfortunately, this has been the avenue that they've been able to get into to earn a living, and that needs to change. So a new skill set, new skill acquisition, and a social engineering has to happen.
Okay, let's quickly talk about single-use plastic, PET bottles and the likes blocking all our drains and canals. What are we going to do about our drains and the flooding we're having in Lagos?
Okay, so
climate change issues.
Actually ensuring that we have a proper waste management system. What currently happens now, we're wasting waste. We're just dumping waste in landfills. There must be different routes for different type of waste. So organic, inorganic waste must go with different routes, and they must start to be separated from the home. And then we're going to incentivize the local government based on the revenue that they generate from collecting waste from that particular local government. Funds will go back to that local government. So that's an incentive for them to ensure that these wastes are separated. And then for us, once people start to see this as value, I believe that the way it is disposed of will change. And then from the primary...
So you need some primary investment in this, but the numbers... Because waste has potential to turn into wealth, but we need to be able to see the numbers.
So the issue with the way waste is currently managed in Lagos State is that there is no proper system. So organic waste can generate biogas, can generate organic fertilizers, but there is no proper system that separates it from the house. So you are also always going to have to separate plastics from the organic waste, and then it's just a messed up process. I actually did my thesis on this. When you separate waste from the house, and then there's a whole collection channel, then these things can work a lot more efficiently and can generate a lot more income.
But all the waste is just dumped into one pool, and the PSPs just come to pack them all.
That's what's currently going on, and that's why I say it needs to be separated. So organic waste is going to its own route and is generating biogas and organic fertilizer. Plastics are going to its own route, converted pellets and upcycled.
Let's talk about traffic. Traffic has been a big problem since the 80s, the time of the military. I think it was Paul Taffer then that was supposed to oversee. He couldn't fix it. They did odd and even number. The problem with Lagos is that you've got bulk of the... we've got over 11 to 12 to 13 million cars, if my stats. I think that's the last MBS stats in 2017 or 2018. But bulk of the cars in Nigeria are in Lagos.
Yes.
And you've got very small roads. So that's pretty much the problem. And it's always been the problem, even when, as a 94, Lagos was about 10 million population. As a then, even before then, the 80s was already a big problem.
Yes.
So what are you going to do differently?
We need to focus on mass transit. That's really it. We need to do...
But the government has been building a rail line for a while.
For over 10 years. And then you're hearing...
But they're about to, they brought some Talgo trains in.
That's supposed to go on the red line.
Yeah.
That was done by the federal government.
Was the red line done by the federal government?
Yes.
No, they
red
said
line.
they did the red line.
Red line is done by the federal government.
How?
According to my research, that's the government, that's federal government. Goodluck Jonathan started that. The red line, blue line, yes, by the state, but the red line has been done by federal government. That's what my research says.
Well, where's your start for the research? Where's your data for the research? Let's see the data. Because the Lagos State touts that they did the red line, they did all the lines and all of that.
I beg to differ.
Bring out your data. Bring out your source. I mean, let's knock it out. Let's knock out the conversation. I'm just for intellectual conversation.
Yes. I will get that to you.
Okay.
Yes. So, but the blue line has done 13 kilometers now. It's supposed to be 24 over the past more than 10 years now. And I feel that I've talked to infrastructure developers, capital, people that raise capital for projects like this, and they've said they've actually approached the government to do this, right, at the same time, but they've been rebuffed by they wanted equity in their companies and things like that. So for us, we're creating an enabling environment for infrastructure.
Was it equity in the developers' companies for the infrastructure?
Yes.
Wow.
So
that's another allegation. Is it verified? You want to share some of the data?
They're not going to come out and write it in reports.
Okay.
You just see that they not get invested in the project.
Okay.
Right? And then you also see the situation where Chinese company that's doing this claims that they put about 100 and something, $40-50 million as the cost of doing the blue line, and then Lagos State is saying it's about $1.5 billion. I think that has become normal information now. Most people are aware of this information. They justified based on studies that they did and right-of-way processes that they had to go through. But for me, it's a huge dichotomy. I feel that making the space, enabling it in terms of transparency, and just focusing on creating a system that allows for people to be able to use this system affordably would allow for private sector to come in and build 4 rail lines at the same time. Secondly, dredging our waterways properly, right? There are all sorts of rackets and scams going on in that whole system. We don't even have proper data to be able to give to investors to say, okay, this is the depth of our waters and you can actually start to move ferries properly here. Because
but the waters are really very shallow.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So we need to actually do proper dredging. This will also help with our flooding that you mentioned earlier on. If we have proper embankments as well, actually pay more than lip service to jetties and actually embrace water, create a situation where, you normalize movement around water and interconnect Lagos as much as possible.
So the infrastructure people you talk to, how long normally will it have take to build that, rail infrastructure? And how long would you take to build that? And have you put a cost to it?
About 6 years. About 6 years you should be able to build it. That's actually my manifesto as well. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but we've actually done that calculation.
And how much is it going to cost?
Just under, I remember, number is not coming to my head, but we've done that calculation.
Well, the government is saying it's well over a billion.
Yeah. It's well over $1 billion. But at the same time, like I said, there are private companies that have these funds because Lagos allows for a feasible return on investment, right? If you're connecting like that. Also understand the opportunity cost as well. When you have a situation where now land in Ikorodu starts to get value because companies can then set up there now because you can get to work 30 minutes, right? You no longer have to stay in a particular place that's close to a particular working environment. And then another thing you talked about was a lot of cars on the road. The idea for us is to minimize as many cars on the road as possible, open up the BRT to other private companies so that we can make up for the shortfall deficit of BRT buses that we have, open the BRT lane to that. Also,
currently it's a sole company.
Yes. So open it to private sector so more people that have that kind of those kind of assets can apply the BRT.
But isn't that just more cars? And that's what the government did recently. They this lag ride and
no, it's not the same. If you have a BRT bus that's taking over 40, 50 people, you're benefiting from that as a state. Lag rides was a complete disaster in the sense that we're trying to reduce cars on the road. Also making sure that more people are in the cars. So encourage ride sharing. I would have thought that they would have partnered with tech companies like Uber and all of those to ensure that, we start to normalize ride sharing, create systems that allow for ride sharing, really market it and push it and create incentives for it, as opposed to a situation where you're trying to compete with these companies.
Lagos used to have trams way back the early 1900s. Aren't trams not a quick solution to most of these problems of mass transit?
Trams can be, but the question as well is the speed at which they'll be moving. Also, how many people can be carried. Trams are not really as, trams don't really carry as many people relatively from what I've seen. So I think we need not just a train system, we also need to be moving goods as well, because we have a port in Lagos, and one of the things that's also messing the roads that we have up are the constant movement of trucks.
So what would you do about Apapa? Apapa has been a big one. This government came in, they said they were going to fix it. It's not been able to be fixed. It's still a nightmare sometimes. What are you going to do about
there was the Ito system that then crashed after some time because stakeholders felt that they were not carried along. The human factor came into it as well. So the idea would be meeting with stakeholders, getting everybody on board, and constant dialogue to ensure that system constantly works. And then the road network. I was at Igbomu axis day before yesterday. It's a complete nightmare. Roads are really, really bad.
So what are you going to do about it?
So we're going to work with federal government, because they've already started on the train line that's encouraged. Make sure the road networks that link to Apapa also improve. And then really make sure that call-up system starts to work, because it worked for some time, right? And then it completely broke down.
How will you deal with the personal interest? Because really, that's the problem of leadership.
That's the problem. So it's about carrying people along, ensuring that everybody's interest is covered, and carrying people along and constant dialogue, because that's the only way, right? That's the call-up system, the train. When those two come together and sorting out the road on that axis, the system can actually work. And also, pushing for the opening of other ports in the southern parts of Nigeria, right? We need to decentralize.
But that's MP started.
I know, but as a governor, yes. But as a governor, also pushing that, because we also have to push for a special status for Lagos State, because we are bearing a lot of the cost of the value that MPA is generating.
But a lot of people have pushed for that. Even in fact, after NSAS,
and it has to be continued. It has to be continued.
Special status. But let's also talk about all the things about Lagos. It's supposed to have a lot of possibility. The general well-being, of the people, standard of living, traffic, and all of that. That we've talked about. Let's look at the road network. It's a big problem.
Yes.
Have you been able to itemize how many even roads we have in the whole of Lagos, and what would you be doing about those roads?
We have. I actually have this number. Well, I don't have it off the top of my head. But the main issue that I feel is that our local government is not working the way it's supposed to work. We don't have the autonomy in the local government system is not working. Internal roads are.
But it's mostly caused by the head, because the head pockets the local government.
That's what I'm saying. So we need.
So how are you going to?
So for me, our local government is going to be autonomous. We're going to have visionary local government chairman. No, I ran for local government chairman. That's how I started.
That's what you all say.
So I'm very passionate about local government and local governance, because that's the only way you can actually make that system work. Especially the inner roads. I flagged off in Alimosho, and I was on a road that had been abandoned for almost 10 years. And these are people that come out and vote for the ruling party. So we need local government chairmen that also start to get the benefits of income that has been usurped by the state. So advertorial income that's supposed to be local government's purview has been taken by the state, and a number of other things. So we must ensure that these funds return to local government, and they are used and supervised properly by the state. So as opposed to holding back the money, we set conditions for them that they must meet to ensure that those inner roads especially are done.
Let's talk some politics. Who is backing you? We're hearing Bode George. We hear the back and forth that you're supposed to be Jandor's running mate and all of that. How are you funding this campaign? Is it how are you even getting the money to fund the campaign? Is it your money? Is it by being a successful architect? So would you like to even show us the tax returns in the first place? Let's know what's going on. Let's know the nitty-gritty. And would you like to release your tax returns, really?
It's a mixture of a lot of things. We have family, we have friends, we have well-wishers, all coming together. It's not a project on my shoulder. If it was, I would not be anywhere near here, right? And also...
So that is giving you the money to do this?
I said family. Okay. Whole bunch of family.
So that is money.
A whole bunch of family. Myself was donating towards it as well. We're not trying to out Goliath here. We're not trying to bring out bullion vans. We don't have bullion vans to bring out. The fortunate thing that we have with this movement is we have a lot of goodwill. And we have a lot of volunteers that are volunteering their time without asking us for money. I go for Labour Party meetings and I'm leaving, people are giving me a bottle of wine as opposed to me giving them money for transport to go home. So these are the ideals that are sustaining this movement. It's not typical politics. We're doing more community organization than real politics in terms of politicking, and that's really what we're trying to get away from.
But what would you say about the mindset that people say money has to irk out the votes?
Well, that is because they've left politics to a select group of people in Lagos State. So, for instance, 16% of people come out to vote. Most of them are the typical people that come out to vote on every 4 years and expect politicians to give them money because they don't really expect politicians to do anything. The people that are behind Labour Party are people that believe in your manifesto, your ideals, your level of integrity, your level of cerebral capacity, and they want to hold you accountable. They will ask you tough questions, and you have to answer. If you can answer, you go back, prepare better, and come back again, right? And these,
like, I will still need some numbers.
Oh yes,
you
definitely.
Need to send me a lot of numbers.
I'm so excited about this because I know how to channel my next interviews. So for me, those are the type of people, and these are people that are custodians of democracy, as far as I'm concerned. Because when you can vote without demanding 1,000 naira, 5,000 naira, you can actually hold politicians accountable. And when politicians start to be held accountable, they start to serve the people, especially when the people put them in position. And that's what the whole Labour Party story is, right? And so, yeah, that's what the whole Labour Party story is.
So you're saying his friends and family are giving you the money to fund it.
Yes.
What about Chief Body George?
Chief Body George did not give me any money. He's a PDP stalwart. He's a
But he's supporting
Lagosian.
you. He's like a father figure to you.
Chief Body George is a father figure, is a family with family.
Like, he wanted you to run with Jandor before, and he feels betrayed that it didn't work out.
The entire party feels betrayed.
So you were supposed to be Jandor's running mate.
It was not something
So
I
for
was
you, it's not even a
excited
thing
about.
of principle, because
No,
you
no.
were.
It was not something I was
like
excited
a minute ago,
about.
you were in PDP. Voila, you're in Labour Party. If this doesn't work, probably you'll be in another. But like
No.
in this cycle, you've done COA, you've done PDP, you've
Not
done
in this
Labour.
cycle, not in
Which
this
one
cycle.
next? Okay, the
that's
last
a
cycle.
span. That's a span of almost 8 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So you like- so what
everything-
happens to
but
party
everything?
ideology?
Everything is anti-APC. At least that is consistent. You have to give me that. If people are just
Anti-APC.
jumping based on
So are you
interest,
saying that if APC winks at you and in the dark and gives you a good deal?
it's not today that they start winking.
Oh, so they've been reaching out to you?
They've reached out in the
They've
past.
given you commissioner or anything? that
Never.
you didn't
No,
take?
no. The conversation never even happened.
Well, wasn't the money high enough?
The conversation cannot happen.
Why?
Because I will not sit at that table.
So for you, it's about integrity.
Yes, it's about for me everything
means to an end. Because a
everything-
lot of people think politicians is another means to an end.
No. Everything that I do not like about Lagos is the responsibility of the APC. The responsibility of the APC government. They control local government. They control most of the state assembly. They control the governorship, the government system. So there's that. There's Funshaw Williams' murder, who was a very close family friend, and just the way Lagos has become, even how divisive Lagos has become, especially as it gets towards election. As it gets towards the election time, you start to see divisive messages, tribalistic messages, and these are not things that I embody.
But you too, you played that tribal card.
How? Tell me.
You said you're a proper Lagosian. What was that supposed to mean?
I'm an indigen of Lagos.
Yeah, so, but what's that supposed to mean?
That I'm an indigen of Lagos.
But Lagos is cosmopolitan.
Lagos is. Lagos is
so why play
welcome.
that card that I'm a proper, and you know the politics of saying I'm an indigene as regards, others are dwellers.
Okay, so this is where I come
So
from.
you play that politics
No.
too.
This is where I come from.
Where'd you come?
I come from the fact that Lagos State is a state that allows for coexistence.
Mm-hmm.
It's always believed in excellence, whether you're from here or there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a push that says indigents have been marginalized in Lagos State for a very long time.
So that's politics too.
Right. Yes, I think that there are interest groups, right? And I identify.
So you're playing the politics you complain about.
No, I'm not saying that a person is bad. A person should not vote. A person should be drowned in the lagoon. A person does not have a right to vote. No, I'm saying that, listen, for the people that are saying that Lagos State should be run by an indigene because they feel that it will be better placed when an indigene is running it, I'm there. For people that are talking about non-indigenship and unfairness being meted to people that are non-indigens, I also represent that block as well.
So that means you represent no block.
I represent two solid blocks.
But
You
can't take a stand. You have to be able to take a stand.
No, I've taken a stand.
Yeah.
One, as an indigene of Lagos that represents and believes in the culture, the actual culture of Lagos, which is one of coexistence, which is one of harmony, which is one of openness, live and let live, right? And then I also represent the block of the non-indigens because my mother is non-indigene, right? So I've been exposed to two different cultures, two different ideologies in Lagos State and outside of it. So I cannot be the person that will be unfair or
So
treating people
a lot of
badly.
people even say further that they play this politics to say that if you're not from the Saleko, then you're an outcast as far as they're concerned.
My deputy is as Lagos as it becomes. She is a daughter of the late King of Ikorodu, so I cannot be one to say that.
Yeah, but you are a Saleko.
Yes, I am.
And you wear that card and you play that politics.
And
too.
then I matched it with Ikorodu.
So
that's how Lagos.
A lot
Lagos
of
gets.
people will also go further by saying that largely it's still about, a lot of you come out and say, okay, I'm in the opposition, but all of you are still one way connected to the establishment, one way or the other.
I don't see that.
How?
No, I'm not connected to the establishment in any way, shape, or form. I don't do any business with Lagos State. I'm not a beneficiary of Lagos State. My sister works in Lagos State government. She's head of domestic violence response team. I'm very proud of what she does.
Yeah.
And
obviously, as a civil servant, she's supporting the APC.
Well,
how does your sister feel about this? So your sister,
my sister,
you're running against your sister's boss.
My sister believes in impact, right? And
no, but you're running against your sister's boss.
Well, so be it. She's making her impact the way she is doing, and I believe in making impact.
A lot of people are asking, who's your running mate?
Princess Oyefusi. Princess Lamia Oyefusi.
All right, let's get a couple of calls in 0700 903 903. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. I've got Mr. Rhodes-Vivour running for governor in Lagos State.
Yes, I listened to him. My name is Joy Musa from Idaraba. I love the way you are asking a question, and I like the way you reacting to the question. But my own is that I'm obedient. I and my daughter. That's not that I'm using conscience. My own is this. I will vote for him by the grace of God. But after I vote for him, God making a governor of Lagos State, I want him to reach out for you by the grace of God. Let him pay for my operation. I have gunshots for him.
I remember you, Madam Joy.
Yes, I've been doing operation.
I've reached out to you many years ago. So the operations are not over yet.
Government has never. No, I did 3 times operation until Linda is aware. With the help of Good Nigeria, I've never received any paracetamol from government.
Wow.
And
so are you go to government hospitals and they don't give you drugs?
Nothing. Even they know that I'm affected by Boko Haram. Lost 4 children and my husband have this gunshot. I've been suffering alone. To the extent that my daughter finished secondary school 4 years ago, she's at home. Nobody to help. 19 years.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for this. Thank you. And these are the people you need to reach out to. 0700 903 903 903. Madu Bochi, if you are willing and obedient, you'll eat the good of the land. Who is running me? Okay, I think we've answered that. Somebody saying so sweet each time the hypocrite speaks. We don't have bullion vans. No politician alive today doesn't have someone backing them. So that's what a lot of people are saying. Lovely conversation with Mr. Rhodes-Vivour. That's what Carol C is saying. We've got one more questions for him. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, sorry, is it Voice of the People?
Yeah, VOP 90.3, yeah. This is Rufai here.
Okay. Sorry, I'm hearing a topic in radio about marriage something. So I thought it's Voice of the People.
No. All right, 0700 903.
Can I respond to the bullion van comment?
Yeah.
I think that citizens should also understand the responsibility that they've played in monetizing of politics. A lot of people decide they are not going to vote. They don't want to have anything to do with elections. And then they left elections for just the poor, who don't make up the entirety of our voting populace, right? And then elections have become extremely monetized. There are a lot more people that are employed in Lagos State than those that are unemployed. There are a lot more people that can afford to vote without collecting 1,000 naira or 500 naira than those that have to collect it because they're hungry, truly hungry. But they decided for a long period of time that they're not going to vote, they're not going to participate. Almost 80% of them, or 84% of them actually. So the more they get involved, the more they come out and they're not demanding of any 1 naira or 1,000 naira, the more monetization of politics will be out of the system. What are you spending money on? Posters, T-shirts, face caps. There are people that are doing this by themselves. I mean, you saw the march that happened on October 1st. As leader of the party in Lagos State, we did not give anybody money to come out. That would have cost at least a couple of 100 million to mobilize in a major party, right? And we did it for free, pretty much. It was just different support groups by themselves contributed money together and mobilized themselves.
So that means probably you are also part of those that are looking at the Obi catchment vote in Lagos to lash on. Is that why you joined the Labour Party?
Well, for me, first and foremost, I truly respect and admire Peter Obi. I like the idea that I like what he embodies. So even before this, because nobody predicted this boom that happened with Labour Party. I mean, it started little by little and then it became a torrent, right? And at the time it was little by little, I'd already started looking at it as an option as opposed to any other party. Because for me, the idea of integrity, the idea that it's okay to be an intelligent politician and not just moving around telling jokes, dancing, you're analyzing problems, getting a good grasp of it is something that I aspire to, something that I find very inspiring. And also his choice of deputy was something also that was extremely inspiring to me, because if you have gone and chosen a grassrooter, right, and do that typical politics, but he's created a brand in terms of that choice. Those two people, I've watched him speak, I've met him. That's extremely intelligent, extremely cerebral as well. And I feel that we've tried others, we've tried other types of leaders. Let's try this type of leader.
So I'd like to ask you this: if Jandor had given you deputy governor slot in PDP, would you have left PDP?
This is a very tough question, honestly, because I was not excited about it. I was the last person to withdraw. Right at the door, leaders of the party called me. Tears were in my eyes when that was happening. I was not, because all my people were inside. This man right here was crying on that field, right? It was a very, very emotional thing. This was not something I was excited about. People like Adiji Doherty had withdrawn, Ade Dosuma had withdrawn. I was right there, right? And leaders called me, and there's a thing about party politics where, you have to respect your leadership. There's only so many people that you can fight at the same time, right? And they felt, listen, you're 39 years old. Be this guy's deputy. By 47, you can then run for governor. You're still very young. You'd have, built experience and all that. This ticket will be an unbeatable ticket, right? And I gave in to that because of respect, because of...
Who called you? What are the leaders that called you?
People like Prince Akitoye, Chief Bode George, his wife was also there, Chief Rolly Bode George, and they were of that opinion that this is what the party has decided they want to go into this election with, right? And the party is supreme, right? I'm not I cannot say I'm fighting the entire party structure, at least not at that time. So that would have been the case. I would have agreed, would have tried to do our best to make sure it's a credible ticket.
So you'll have stayed on the PDP if
I did not.
If you had gotten the deputy governor ticket.
If the agreement that was made at that point in time, not happily, I must keep insisting this, was made, then I would have stayed.
You'll have stayed on. So for you, it's just how convenient things panned out.
I don't think it's convenient. I don't think it's easy to join a new party, start learning the ropes all over again, make all those sacrifices all over again, bring out another 15 million to buy a nomination form all over again, go through all that stress all over again. There's nothing convenient about it. What is convenient really was just to sit back and just wait and run in the campaign council or any of that.
Somebody's saying here that he just thinks you're using this to build awareness. What's your take on that? Yeah, you can still call us up, to ask all the questions from GRV Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Lagos State. 0700 903 903 903. So you can get a chance to ask him all the questions you want to ask him. What do you say to people that say you're just trying to build?
Well, we'll just have to prove them wrong, right? I know the voting blocks that are going to come behind us.
Who are the voting blocks that are going to come behind you?
You have whole non-Indian vote, you have the Christian vote, you have the youth vote, you have the NSAS vote. You have people that are tired of the status quo in Lagos vote. And I'm sure that as we start to get in December...
What do you mean by the Christian vote?
There's a huge Christian vote that is very angry with the idea that a certain group feel that it's okay for a Hausa Fulani Muslim to replace another Hausa Fulani. There's another group that's very angry of a Muslim vote, Muslim ticket, right? And these people are going to come out to vote to say, this is not acceptable. Right? And you have the youth vote, you have the NSAS vote, you have people that are fed up with the status quo, and people that are excited about, a politician that reflects their own values. So I think that people will be very surprised because the voter outcome, the voter turnout, and this next election will be like nothing that anybody has seen before.
So, what are the probably worst case scenarios you're preparing for?
Worst case scenarios in terms of the election.
These elections.
Well, for me, my main worry is security. I do not want the elections in Lagos State to turn into a tribal conflict, and I've started to see signs of that. So what we're working on is ensuring that we have a proper security architecture down to the ward level to ensure that it does not become a tribal conflict.
Okay. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903. Carol C says JRC speaks with clarity. Boranovo says JRC is smart, intelligent, focused man. Lanka says I love obedience. Okay, that answer is a running mate. A lot of questions. Namdi is calling you. Ability Leo Namdi says incoming governor. Someone say Labour Party governorship candidate is soft spoken, which is okay. However, Nigerian politics needs some vigor and energy.
I cannot be shouting at Mr. Rufai. I'm having a good conversation. We are not fighting.
They are too soft for.
You see, this is the
campaign.
This is the problem. I wonder, was Awolowo was shouting at people? Was Herbert Macaulay shouting at people? Were these people not great politicians? Was Laji Jakonde shouting on people? Unfortunately, we've just empty barrels make a lot of noise. This idea of you must be a certain way. We've left a prototype to a certain group of people to define what a politician is, and we need to move away from that. I mean, people were making fun of Peter Obi and saying that he does not shout, his voice is low. But it's not just about the sound of your voice, it's the quality of the thoughts that you're pushing forward and your willingness to learn and, ensure that your people have a good quality of life. Empathy as well.
Okay, I think let's see. There's a call coming in. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Rufai. My name is Mr. Nusa. I'm calling from Nusa is the name, calling from Italy.
From Italy, Nusa from Italy. Okay. Great to have you, Mr. Nusa.
Yeah, I'm an admin listener to your program.
Thank you so much.
On Sunday.
Bless you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Rufai.
Yeah.
I want to speak directly to the Labour Party candidate in Lagos.
Yes, sir. He's listening.
Please, my brother, good morning or good afternoon from my end.
Good afternoon, sir. Good morning.
I want to be frank with you, please. I'm going to be very positive. Frankly speaking, I want you to know one thing. Buhari contested more than 3 times before he became the president of Nigeria, right?
Yes.
Atiku have been contesting for more than how many times now? So I want you to use this platform. I mean, this your Labour Party, just like your principal, because to be frank with you, he's not going to get the chance. Looking at the mighty people in Nigeria right now, the ancestors, because they will do everything to make sure that they come on board. Let's be factual. This is the fact. So I don't want you to give up. Please. You are a very young guy, and the prospect is, the future is also very bright for you also. Don't give up, even in Lagos State. In Lagos State, it's very, very difficult for any other party to win Lagos right now because of these same ancestors that are controlling Lagos State. So please, even if this is your first try, don't leave Labour Party, continue to try. This is my what I want to suggest to you. Just like your principal who is going for the presidency, Nigeria, the people who are there at the end of affair, they will use every means to make sure it does not come on board. This is the reality of it. And I pray he continues to struggle also in the next administration, the next term, probably God will hear his prayer. This is it. Thank you.
Okay. So that's sort of like a fait accompli. What do you react to that? That's what a lot of people are saying.
I think that a lot of people underestimate the power of the people. I really, really do. You see, if we'd had all this time, like 50% voter turnout, 60% voter turnout, that's voting in favor of the status quo, I would agree 100% what he's just said. But in Lagos State, you have 60.
Okay, let me just quickly take this call. Hello, how are you?
Beautiful, bro.
Great to have you. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Mr. Francis from Saplita.
All right, Mr. Francis, go ahead.
Brother, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Francis. Oh, lost that. So as you were saying.
Yeah, so 16% voter turnout with all this money, with all this structure and everything. So there's an 84% group of people that are just sitting down in their house with their voters' cards.
But let's also argue that empirically. Somebody brought up that, they've never got this. But you forget in 2011 elections, the candidate of the ACN then, Fashola, actually won with 1.5 million and 9,000 votes.
Yes.
So, this argument of, they've never crossed the 1 million threshold.
No, I did not argue that.
Yeah. So some people bring this argument for
I did not argue that at all. I'm not arguing about the 1 million threshold. Fashola is a very popular candidate.
Yeah.
Right? And also, I think that our electoral system has gotten much better since that time. Right? And there's voter apathy that has been going on and dipping and making it worse. Point I'm trying to make is that with this new energy that has come into political atmosphere right now, you are looking at people that don't normally vote coming to the ballot. And this is grooming an entire new voter demography, right? And that has been my focus for the last 6 years. It's not about...
Sorry. Let's take some more calls. Hello, how are you?
Hi, my brother from another mother. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you? This is from America, right? I remember you, powerful. Great to have you.
That the sister and the convener of Anti-Mongo Charitable Organization.
Okay, from America, right?
Yes, I could.
Okay,
Colorado.
So from Colorado in America, I remember you. So quickly talk to the candidate of the Labour Party for governor in Lagos. He's here, but we have about 2 minutes because we need to start to wrap up. And somebody's saying, let's pray people get their PVCs. Just quickly talk to him. He's listening to you.
My brother, I don't agree with those people telling you that it is not possible to change the so-called empire in Lagos. We can change it. The power lies on the people.
Yes.
When we have the number, and shame to any man or woman that is dancing the dance of disgrace with APC and PDP. They dropped my brothers and sisters of their destiny, and they gave the poverty and lack and hopelessness in its place. And because of that, they turn to Yahoo boys and girls.
Exactly.
They turn to Losho and kidnappers and hookup. That is not their destiny. So go out there and take the power back so that we can fulfill our destiny. Every Nigerian that is calling in saying that it is not possible, I beg you, keep that mouth shut, because you don't feel the pain, you don't understand the atrocity these people have caused us at home and in the Western world. We are taking back the glory of Nigeria.
Amen.
We are taking back Africa. We are queens, we are princesses. We are not the slaves they made us to be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, final words. Somebody's reacting. Said the caller from Italy is just naive. That's Okore. Karosi said, Mommy has spoken. Amen. We have a big, huge community here. We've got a quick call again from the United Kingdom. We've got a big diaspora community here. Hello, how are you? Quickly.
Hello.
Your name?
My name is Chooks. Well done, Rufai, for
Where are you calling from, Chooks?
I'm calling from UK.
Okay. The UK is big. Where specifically, Chooks? The UK is very big. It's plenty. Over 150,000 square kilometers of land. It's plenty.
Yeah, it's not.
That's your small island.
Nigeria is bigger than UK.
I know. That's what I'm calling that your small island. Where in the small island?
I'm calling from Southampton.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm calling from Southampton.
Okay,
Southampton.
Okay. Go start people.
Yeah. Well done on the program and on the questions you keep asking.
Yeah.
I just want to offer a bit of encouragement to the Labour Party candidates. irrespective of the outcomes. Yeah, I can see that. I think there's still a lot of work he would need to do in kind of. So we don't have the situation where somebody gets into office and says, "Oh, I didn't notice how bad it was, and we had to go back, and the situation gets worse, really." So I think there's still a lot of work to do on his part, and on the part of leadership, there's a big, like for where I am presently, you can see there's a big difference between the concept of what leadership is, and there needs to be an education of the people, because I think the biggest problem we have in Nigeria is that the culture of the people is already warped. So they don't even know what to expect of leadership, So there's a whole lot he needs to do, and not just reeling out statistics, and it's also about coming up with workable. When I say workable, not just copy and paste, workable solutions for the particular climate, the particular environment we are in. And I don't know, I was listening to what he was saying. I was listening to another caller saying that he should not think about winning and all that. I think that's not right, because things can change. I expect that things will change in Nigeria. But I think they should keep their heads up and do more or less of... so like where I am, you find out that the council, the council, the local councils actually have more power than the MPs. Because they control a lot. So I think they should do more work in the local governments, in the world level. That's where you get people. If you want to turn around the narrative in a place like Lagos, which has been controlled by APC for close to the past 24 years now, so you need to go down. Yes, I know there's these rallies, but when it comes to getting the votes, you need to go down to the grassroots. You need to get to the weeds to be able to win. So I just want to offer encouragement.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So last words as we leave.
I advise everybody, I encourage everybody to go get their voters cards. Politician that emerges is a reflection of the people that took the election seriously. And we need a situation where politicians that emerge actually are servant leaders and take the interests of the people as their number one priority. We've had the governor like that before in Lagos State, Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, and what he was able to achieve in 4.5 years is still something to praise, because Lagos State has not really worked at that level of efficiency in so long. So please take this seriously. If you're not able to get your voters card or register, get 10 people that you shepherd till the day of election and make sure that they vote. We must start to show our strength as a people and ensure that power, and show politicians as well that power actually belongs to us, and they are our hires. Right? We hire them, we are their boss, and that would then start to reflect in quality of leadership.
So you said there's a debate coming up on the 4th of December?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking forward to that.
Yes, it's going to be. I hope you'll be there.
Thanks so much for your time. Thank you so much. That's the show for today. Thank you guys so much. Get out there. I've released the podcast. It's on my Twitter. It's called What Are You Afraid Of? The inspirational session on the show. Right, and God bless you. God bless you. God keep you.